Hey, we are back. Michael Tomasky here.
David Frum. Michael, I read in the Daily Beast you've had a brainwave.
I did, okay. I wasn't going to call it that, but I accept that nomenclature. I wrote the other day that Barack Obama, in talking to the business leaders as he did Wednesday, and he obviously didn't take my advice, but I still think it's not too late for him to propose a decrease in the corporate tax rate. The corporate tax rate in the United States is now 35%. I said he should bump it down to 30. There may be room to negotiate there. I think it's a way politically to win over corporate tax leaders and get them on his side as he pushes for the higher marginal income tax rate. And I also think it's substantively the right thing to do. Our corporate tax rate is higher in the United States than it is in virtually every advanced country.
So what you'll do is, as the individual rate goes to 39%, widen the gap from the corporate rate to the Schedule C rate by about 10 points, which creates fantastic arbitrage opportunities for accountants everywhere. They'll be grateful to you. I am much more impressed with the policy positives of the Republican proposals on deductions. You know, this contest is obviously not about policy. This is a pure struggle of political will. But as a matter of fact, the leading deductions in the tax code are very problematic. The exclusion of health care from taxation. That's about $180 billion a year. It's about the cost of the United States Navy. And it is the single most important distorter of the healthcare system. You can say the same thing about the mortgage interest deduction. It pushes people into bigger homes than they would otherwise buy. It doesn't create more homeowners. It creates homeowners who own more home. And the state and local deductions, which cost as much as the Department of Education, which incentivize state and local governments to overspend.
If you and I were going to start a country from scratch, we wouldn't have those policies. I'm quite sure of it. I think we both would agree on that. Also, the payroll tax, which is regressive and which most progressives think, even though it does finance Social Security and Medicare, most progressives think it's not a really good way to go. So I think if we were starting a country from scratch, no, we wouldn't do it. But I have no faith in our political system to undo these things or even tinker with them and have it come out well. I have no faith in that at all.
But we have successfully done so in the past. The home mortgage interest deduction, for example, it used to be infinite. Now it's been, and I think you could have it even on more than one house.
Yes.
Now it's one house only and capped at $1 million. Capping the deduction, I mean, it would be cleaner to take the limit down to say it would be what's now the Fannie Mae Corp conforming loan. I think it's 740, something like that. Take it down from $1 million to 740. You can deduct interest on a mortgage of that size. But capping the total amount of the deduction achieves the same thing. And by the way, I say this as a DC taxpayer, so I am a big loser from the idea I'm proposing, which is not something that often happens in these discussions.
Yeah, I'm a loser too, in Maryland, I think, without much question. Look, I think there is substance to what's going on in these fiscal cliff and debt ceiling negotiations. I think that at bottom, we're getting as close as our political system can get to having a real conversation about how you create a prosperous economy. It's an imperfect conversation, but it is a conversation about that. And I think the principle of raising the top marginal rate to 39.6 is not just a political thing. Obviously, it's a political thing, but it's not just that. It's an important policy principle that I obviously want to see Obama and the Democrats win.
My view is the president's top priority is to break the Republicans, and he doesn't care whether he breaks them for 39.6 or 36.1 or 35.5%. He just needs them to break, and that's what he's after, and that's what they are struggling not to achieve. And we'll be back next week on the eve of everybody's break. Look forward to talking to you then.
Thanks for watching.